Wall Street. Do it right, build wealth, live life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. It's on the new Black Wall Street. Here's your host.
All right, man. Grand rising to you, billionaires. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the New Black Wall Street as we present you guys the Money and Power Show, where we talk about money and the power, which would be economics and also politics here this morning. We're going to have a nice little show this morning, talk a little bit about the economy. And I found some interesting things as it relates to where we are and the recovery, getting back to pre-pandemic times. And hopefully, take a look at a few of these different areas of life, we may be able to uncover some spaces to look at. Because if it's something's going to be recovering, and I want my money to be recovering right along with it. How about that? I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, ERGJ Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. The book that I wrote, guys, The Study of Black Wealth. The book that I wrote is the study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, that's a big if, by the way. But if you do, I recommend that you study wealthy people. Well, you can find our book by simply going to the website, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com. Pick up your copy today. We have about 15 copies left of our printed book, so we will not be printing any more of the book as far as print is concerned. You can still get it as an ebook. So if you like to have it in your library and you don't have a copy yet, again, check out the website, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com. No, you can't find it on Amazon. I never sold my book on Amazon, but you can find it at our website, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com. Today's episode is being brought to you by ERGJ Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace, which specializes in Afrocentric home decor. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Personal care products and also Black art-inspired gifts. Here at ERGJ Black Bazaar, we want to make sure that we are providing a great value to the community. And so we do have, some Black-owned businesses that we partner with that you can do business with. Going back to school right now, we have updated our Black to School section. And then we still do have personal protective equipment, a Black bookstore. We'll be adding some calendars and journals here soon. I'll be looking at that today as we get ready for 2021. So we are in the last third, I guess you could say, of the year, moving into September. So getting ready for the holidays and then getting ready for 2021. Man, time flies when you're having fun. Man, make sure you check us out at www.theblackbazaar.com, www.theblackbazaar.com. I want you guys to remember this, man. Once you shop Black, you never go back. Man, that's right. Once you shop Black, you never go back. Man, this is Better Life Tuesday, guys. So we do have our guest here who'll be our co-pilot here today. But we do want to find out who's here this morning. Go ahead and let us know that you are here. Hit the like button, the share button if you care. Like button, the share button if you care. Also, let us know where you're connecting from. What city, what state, what country you are representing this morning. What city, what state, or what country you are representing here this morning. We're broadcasting from our virtual studios right here in Decatur. That's right, Decatur, Georgia. Decatur, where it's greater. Grand rising to you. Queen Yvette is in the house. Thanks so much for joining us. Happy Tuesday to you. Brother Anthony Sims of the DFW, the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Good morning to your brother. L.A. Jones in the house, man. Grand rising to you. Thanks so much for joining us. Miss Melody Peters is in the house as well. Grand rising to you. How are you? Man, big homie Lou is in the house, man. Thanks so much, man. Good morning to you. How are you? Brother Antoine Lowry is in the house, man. Grand rising to you. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the Money and Power Show. Brother Daniels is in the house. Wichita Cheesecake Company joined us as well. Charleston, South Carolina. Rock Hill, South Carolina. Absolutely, man. Let me bring my brother in here, man. He's getting his morning coffee. He's doing all his good thing. I think he's ready to rock and roll. My brother, Dr. Weathersby, is in the house, man. Good morning to you, man. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Money and Power Show.
Absolutely. Good morning back to you, brother. It's good to see you, man. All of the BBC fam, man. Wakanda forever, brother.
And you are coming in loud and clear, man. I'm glad to hear everything's going well, man. What's going on over in your world? Better Life Institute. Tell us a little bit about that as well. I definitely want to pull up your website so people can see that. You got this thing up and running now.
Man. Well, look, man, and watch this. I've got another section to add. One of the things I love is doing business with us in excellence. And I've always been real key about making sure that, Black is always better as long as we have excellence. And so I've got to add a section that deals with the Better Life Promise. I'm so tired of us raping our own. We were talking about the protest down in East Point, I'm just tired of us raping our own. So I promise to all of my folks, I'm going to keep it clean, keep it excellent. I'm going to operate in integrity, but I'm also putting out a money back guarantee because I'm high price, I'm high ticket coaching. Because I know what I offer. It's not spam, it's not belonga, it's not hot dog, and it's not mystery meat. It's straight steak and seafood. So I'm gonna add that to the section as well, man. But things are going well. The increase of Better Life Institute is hitting more states every day. The traction is picking up, and people are hungry for the truth. Not just the truth about the world we live in when it comes to politics, but they're hungry for the truth about how this money game works. Because no matter what's going on, you got to use your resources. So I'm excited, brother. I'm excited.
Absolutely, man. So Better Life Institute, guys, let me go and get that website, put that thing in the link in the comments below here. And I can do that here. You guys can check it out. I'm just tagging it right here. So you check out Brother Wesley's website, check out the Better Life Institute, get the assistance that you need if you need it. And him and his crew will make themselves available to help you out in areas in which they can help you to have a better life. Now here on Tuesday, Brother Wesley, we normally talk about all types of stuff. As it relates to just the better life. And today I wanted to, as I said, I wanted to look at. I found this thing that tracks the economy, and of course, the money and power. The main thing with money being the economy itself, and in tracking the economy, they have all these different areas that they look at. See, okay, where were we pre-pandemic? Where are we now, and how close are we getting to whatever the normal was before? Back to that level. But we also, I think, it's important to discuss things that may have changed that are kind of changed like permanently. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not gonna go back to the old, so to speak. And so I said, man, this I've been trying to study this thing, and it's a lot of different areas. But I want to pull it up because I want people here to see, and also get their own kind of ideas as relates to where we are in the economy, regardless of, as we're also going through, the next couple months of this political fiasco, who's going to be president moving into 2021, I guess. So, so this is a little thing that's tracking America's economy. From your job, your home, your groceries, and pretty much every aspect of life for the COVID-19, right? And so this very first thing that we see is what they consider to be back to normal. And they have, looks like a lot of our northwestern.
Less populated.
Okay, yeah. I didn't even think about it that way. Seem to be, almost back to normal, 93%, 90%, 80%. And then our southern, southeast, southwest, I guess because we're closer to the equator, we populate a little bit more. We still, 79%, 73%, 70, 75%. Still got, some ways to go until we're back to whatever this new normal is.
Normal, bro.
They track coronavirus and everything as well. But I want to keep moving down here because we have unemployment claims, which peaked in May, looks like, and then now it's dropping. And then we have unemployment claims by state, which pink would be 5%, and then as you get darker red, you have higher unemployment claims for the state. So you can see, we can see that obviously different states have had a different impact with this coronavirus, but then we can also see that some states are recovering faster than others, I guess is the best way to put it. And this is all just data that's driven through kind of the system, right? So someone goes to file a claim, we can, they can claim is coming from and all that good stuff, man. What is there anything that you kind of see here with this first section of our jobs? Obviously, essential workers in hospitals and grocery stores were hailed everyday heroes. Office workers shifted to work from home. And millions of other Americans filed unemployment. It's safe to say your job might never be the same after the pandemic. Is there subtitle to this section here?
Brother, it's so much I could say. So yeah, I'm happy here on the left. It's talking, the jobless claims are going down. Great. But every 10 to 20 years, there is another major turn, major shift. If you go back in history, if you go back to 1990, everybody was kind of comfortable, just beginning to, this skilled worker came out in the year 2000. Of course, now we got the internet is no longer just dial up. It's a part of our lives. But then in 2010, we began to hit high speed. 2020, we're at 5G. So every 10 years, there's a change. And the unemployment change that we're looking at is automation. It is also the destruction of the higher paying jobs, or the loss of some of the higher paying jobs for the lower paying jobs, for the less skilled jobs. So that unemployment, yeah, it's going down, but it's been the trend for about 10 years or so that the jobs replacing what was lost many times is not the same quality, which is why we got to have money and power. Another conversation, but that's going to open up 2 more cans of worms.
Now look at this. I'm glad that you brought that up, right? Because now we have employment by sector, right? So if we see here, we see leisure is down, 25% pretty much as far as employment. Obviously, they're having the toughest time, with travel being at a loss and things like that. And then mining and logging. I guess that would not be lodging, that would be logging. I don't even know nothing about that. Then we got information, education. Look at this. This is a section that you're in. Education down 8%.
Yep.
Transportation down 7%. But as we come all the way down here, we see healthcare, financial really hasn't been hit as much or at all. It's 4%. So they actually have increased jobs. Healthcare is only down 3.5%. So we can see areas as well where employment. And I want to take a look at the leisure section. Employment, based upon where you work, what type of job that you have, or whatever the case may be, obviously has some differences as well. So here's what they consider to be leisure: performing arts and spectator sports. We know the stadiums were closed and they're doing the whole bubble stuff. Then they got accommodation. I guess that would be hotels and stuff like that, I guess.
Sports.
You got gambling and amusements down 31%, museums down 27%, restaurants and bars is only down 20%. So the biggest hit sector, right, as far as employment is concerned, is leisure. What this also is very interesting to me, though, is it tells you this has the greatest space for a comeback.
Right.
Right.
Greatest
place hit also has the greatest space for a comeback as we maybe get back to this new normal. They began to hire people, right, again, to be able to facilitate a new rush of people coming in to do business. Just imagine what happens, right, when we get past the pandemic and then the stadiums open back up.
It's like when. It's like what happened after the Great Recession. The demand for cars was way low because a lot of car buying is with discretionary spending. And as soon as we came out the recession, man, they posted, I think, 5 or 6 years of record car sales. And that's why this is time for people to pay attention to the pattern, watch history repeat itself, and prepare for it. You know it's going to come back, but it's just not coming back the same way. One of the bigger challenges on the employment side is that companies are learning certain functions and certain roles that they thought were meat are really becoming fat. So instead of having 10 people on staff, they can do it with 6. They can do it with 7. Or in some cases, they can do it with 2. So I just want everybody that's watching it, please pay attention to that, because some things will come back, but it's going to be with more automation and some other changes to it, and that'll make a huge difference.
Now, this is interesting here. I'm just going through each sector. Mining and logging was the second, but the biggest part of that was coal. I see, this is not something I'm very familiar with, so I think everybody can kind of get with the whole leisure. Okay, unless you're in that space, probably may not make much sense to you. Let me find out information and media. How do they break this down? Movies and music is down 53% since March, as far as jobs in this particular arena. Obviously, they're probably doing more streaming of these things and maybe not going to the studio as much, and obviously don't need all of those equipment and cameras and video and all that stuff, I'd imagine.
Yep.
Broadcasting, publishing, telecommunications, but data and hosting is actually up during this time frame.
Yep. Everybody's at home, and watch this. And if you notice, no matter what the situation is, every situation is going to bring pros. Every situation is going to bring cons. Every situation is going to have opportunity, but it's also going to have loss. It's just a matter of preparing as best as we can for where we want to be.
I was trying to find your area here, brother. It just skipped over education. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's that professional services, maybe? Nope, that ain't professional services. It just didn't even, it didn't even list. Okay, I guess I'll go to the next one. Transportation. All right, so transportation, sightseeing. I didn't even know that was really a thing. Okay. That's down 46%. Ground and passenger transit down 32%. Air is down. Look at this, ground and passenger transit. So that would be like what? Buses?
Buses,
rentals. Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think about it. Buses, rentals, trains.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
My bonus dad retired from Amtrak. Oh, and let me tell everybody, this is the first time I'm seeing this data too. So I'm with y'all. He got me in shock and see mode. I'm okay.
Yeah, and look, we got air. Everybody, can talk about the airlines a little bit. Oh no, so trains will be rail.
Okay.
And then we got water, which would be ship, which is only down 15% as far as your ships, your cruises, and stuff like that. Then truck transport is down 6%, and I'd imagine that still should be doing fairly fine. Warehouses okay, but couriers, look at this, couriers are up 12%. So while some of the things went down, people got them a little vague, got them courier jobs going up to be able to still get stuff over to places. That would be like i.e. your Amazon Primes and stuff like that, your courier services. Wow, look at this. So there has been some things that, let's keep going. I mean, why not all of them? Government? Okay, government. All right, I guess I should probably just go down each one. All right, government. Okay, so local government down 6%, and I guess this would be some furloughed positions locally. State is only down 3%. We really don't see a big drop off here, right? Post office down 1%, but the federal increased their jobs. I guess as of July.
Yeah. And that's normal when we are dealing with recovery. The federal always picks up because we got stimulus and all this other stuff going on. Wow.
All right, what's next? Healthcare. Anybody in the healthcare industry? Look at this. So healthcare, social assistance. I don't know what that really means. Nursing homes down 7%. Ambulatory services down. Now this is it. Now I find this interesting, right? That during that that jobs are down in healthcare when a lot more people are sick and dying. That doesn't make much sense to me. I don't.
So watch this. So I've got people on the front lines, and so what's happening is because we aren't doing the elective surgeries, we aren't doing some of the regular stuff that became our norm. There actually have been a lot of layoffs in the health.
Yeah, he told me that. He said that this brother, he said that he works in a particular area, but that's not the particular area that they focus on now. So he got furloughed in that particular area. And I was like, well, why they didn't just bring you over to help in the area that need help in? But it was, hey, you know, they make the decisions that they make. Okay, I got you. Okay, all right, yeah. So healthcare positions, these are jobs. We're down.
Oh, hold on for 1 second, brother. Yeah. So you know how 10 years ago we were talking about the growth of healthcare, and it's been one of the shining stars in employment. But just because it's in the industry doesn't mean it's going to grow, because you can go be a CNA, make $15 an hour, and you're mad because you're one of the lowest paid and one of the most stressed out in a growing industry. And you're also one of the first ones to get out. So we're always going back to the specialization thing.
Yeah, the specialization thing is so very important. I'm with you on that. Manufacturing. All right, obviously apparel down 23%. You know, why they need to make a whole bunch more clothes when people ain't buying them. Textiles, printing, furniture. Who's out buying furniture? Coal and gas production, motor vehicle and parts, transportation equipment, chemical, food, paper, plastics. But computer electronics.
That's why you can't find a webcam.
Yeah, computer electronics. All right. So we did my professional services. Okay, and then we'll do real estate. So professional services, temporary services down 19%. Legal, architecture, information technology, consulting, accounting, all down under 5%. Real estate. Rental and leasing real estate's down 18%. Over this, I guess, as of July. Okay, yeah, and then real estate itself. Okay, retail. This will be interesting. Retail, clothing down. Obviously, apparel's down, clothing's down. Personal laundry, home furnishings, electronics and appliances, health and personal care is down. Auto dealers down, gas stations down. But food and beverages up, and garden supplies is up 6%. When we look at transportation, all right, fantastic. Now,
most people don't understand why gardening is up. When people are at home and they're tired of being in the house, they need something to do, and that's why gardening is up.
Gardening and supply. Look at and food and beverage. Obviously, we spend a little bit more to feed our fancy. We eat when we're bored.
Yep.
Hey, so hours worked at small businesses. You see how dramatically small businesses slash work hours below the pre-pandemic norm in your state. So I'm in Georgia, so I want to look at Georgia. I'm in Georgia. So hours worked at small businesses down 20% as it relates to pre-pandemic times right now in August. And we'll probably see this similar across Alabama, 17%. If you guys want to see any particular state, let me know. I think we said Dallas for a word. That would be Texas. Texas down 30%. Wow. South Carolina, I heard or saw South Carolina small businesses down. Okay, not that bad. It's how
every graph looks the same. The numbers might be a little different.
Yeah, some are recovering a little bit faster than others, but yeah, generally speaking, the graph is going to look the same. Pandemic into March, April, low time of the pandemic, and then trying to recover, you know, doing your social distancing stuff, masks being worn, all that stuff to try to get your business back online. And if it's not, you know, some physical place you had to be, then you can have them work from home. Here we go, your home. It definitely got harder to sell your home during the pandemic. No open houses, virtual closings. Many owners hesitated to put their homes on the market. Thanks to the Fed stimulus efforts, though, you may be able to refinance and take out a mortgage at record low rates. So you have your real estate listings by state. It looks like the biggest one that had a big drop was in Utah. I'm in Georgia. We were down 20% as far as listings are concerned. So this would be the economic move of real estate, right? Buying and selling real estate. Obviously, we can expect for it to be down for the most part, but there are some. California's only down 1%. Washington is 1% up, actually 1% up. You have Minnesota and Illinois, which is only a 5 percentile. But other states, as far as their listings to be sold and bought, we can see that here. Mortgage rates are down to, I guess, is this 2.99%?
Yeah. They're the high 2s and the low 3s. I'm like, dude, I'm in the process of working on it now.
Yeah, one of the cheapest times in history to take out a mortgage. One of the cheapest times in history to take out a mortgage. Good morning to you, Helena. How are you? Tequila, what's going on? Good morning to you. Tamika's in the house. How are you? Katrinda, good morning to you. How are you? All right, look at that. L.A. Jones says she recruit doctors for healthcare companies. Fantastic. Mr. Consistent is in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining us today on the Money and Power Show. Gardening is therapeutic for many folk. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Now, so we got so those that might be in position to look at buying a house. I mean, this is a great time to be able to finance that house at record low rates. So a great time to be a buyer in the market. Now we get to, it's talking about stuff. Here we go. So your investments, guys. So resistant temptation to check your 401k every day. Although stocks may have come back faster than other parts of the United States economy, Wall Street insiders are bracing for volatility ahead of the November election. So this election time, we normally do see some volatility. So you start preparing for this, right? Right now, we see that there's a lot of money's moved back into the market. We hear about Apple and Tesla doing their split. We hear about these tech companies that are just booming and busting right now, roaring back. But also there's some cause for some concern as we move over into greed, almost to extreme greed, which gives me the indication of, man, I start looking for stuff I can sell versus buying at this particular point.
Right.
So we had the big drop in March, obviously same time frame. But if you watch the show, you kind of listen long enough, we were saying, hey, it's a great time to buy, moving into March, moving into April, and then it's been roaring back. So if you're a person who started to take a position, right, when everything was low, when everything was in extreme fear, when the sky was falling, then now your money, you starting to see your money, depending on what you invested in, roar back. Not even roar back, just roar up, because maybe you bought when it was low. So that's a great thing as well. But for those that have 401ks, you got retirement accounts and things like that, you're starting to see your money recover from that drop. The bad part is that it had to recover, right? So it goes through this temporary time frame. You probably are, you might have still been investing into your 401k every pay period, I'd imagine. So you take advantage of the dollar cost average. But, we hate to see the drop because it takes a while to recover from a drop. And you may not get back to your increase for probably another year if you're just investing in your 401k. But the Dow Jones Industrial Average is basically at 1% for the year. So really nothing lost, went through that temporary time. Now you're back to where you were more than likely after this short time frame. But I will say this. For those that are investing in your retirement accounts, understand that there are ways for you to determine or to look at where you are investing, right? So there are a lot of different funds that you have available to you, more than likely, but it's important to understand those funds so you can actually direct your dollars a little bit better than just blindly investing, because had you looked more into the tech sector, then you would be way up now, because that's up 20-something% versus 1% in the Dow. But nonetheless, those are things that we teach. What's going on, Courtney Gore Smith? I saw your video, I think maybe the other day, last night. I don't know. I saw it popped up. I love to have you back on the show. But yeah, buyer's market is booming here in Georgia. Listings are down because of the inventory shortage.
Right. That's what's going on here.
Yeah, that's the real estate guru queen right there. Can't wait till we really do some stuff together. But I'm just gonna keep praying and hoping. I know the time we're waiting on the time. But thanks so much. Yeah, so buyer's market here is booming here in Georgia. Listings are down because the inventory is shorter. So buyer's market, right? Absolutely. No problem, Ms. Vivian. Absolutely. So these are just key indicators. You see anything else here on this investment track here for you, brother Weatherby?
The bigger thing because so one of my brothers, he does options, and I've gone to take a course with him. And the biggest thing that gets people in trouble when we talk about money is the same when we talk about power. It's that emotional thing. And like you said, we're moved from the emotion settling back to the greed side. So you're right. It's starting to become time to sell to those who are just not coming to buy, because the cycle's going to repeat itself. Something's going to happen. We're going to go back and it's going to be time to buy again, because every 10 years or so, we go through the same cycle.
Same cycle. So we're moving into what? Time of uncertainty, this election time, who's going to make it, who's going to be, president or whatever. And that's going to bring some uncertainty into, it's very interesting. It's going to bring some uncertainty into the market, which is going to cause things to slow down a little bit, sell off a little bit. But then depending on whoever gets that nomination, it's going to have an impact on whatever particular sectors as well. But I think what we also can look at is that there will be some sectors that are going to recover regardless, right? They're going to recover regardless, because at some point they have to get back to a new norm as well as we get through this pandemic time. So let's see here, your money. This is interesting here. Your income and savings might have changed dramatically since March. During the pandemic, Americans have tightened their spending. Really? I didn't know that. And chosen to save more as they grapple with historically weak job market. So I guess through March, they were saving 34% savings rate, but then now it's back down to 19%. So I don't know which measure of portion of income Americans don't spend and pay out in taxes surged in April as people receive relief checks from the government. Then it fell to May and June, right? So everybody went right back to their old ways.
Right.
So the American spending on household expenses, including food, clothing, housing, healthcare, transportation, recreation, plunged in early weeks of the pandemic, but it's been rising. Look at this, it's been rising since the low in April. So we had this 13.1 trillion in household spending, dropped down to 10.3 spending on April 3rd. Now it's back on the rise, right? Spending. Now, this is great information for me because I just happen to be in retail. So if they're spending more, then I need to ask myself, am I selling something that they're spending their money on? That's how I look at it. So that's good news for me. What's this change percentage? Okay. So we're almost back. We're almost back
to normal.
Almost back to normal spending, right? Normal American spending, 7% down since pre-pandemic. So we got 7% to go before we're back to spending how we normally spend, right? In our household. So it includes food, clothing. So now, you know what it says to me, brother, is it's like, okay, so we're back to spending how we normally spend. There's another area that I saw earlier that was super down, right? Which would be clothing, right? So now I'm asking myself, okay, where do I need to look,
come on, brother,
as it relates to clothing? If we're going to get back to our normal spending, people are going to go back to buying clothes. I'm pretty sure, man. How did the back to school first day spree go when it comes to buying the kids clothes? I don't think that went very well.
It did not go very well. And watch this. Anybody in that sector will want to pay attention to that, because people are going to buy clothes. One of the key indicators with clothing is the basics: drawers, socks, and the basics. You got to get, everybody's going to buy a pair of pants or two. So you want to be careful that if that's your area, you get ready to maximize. I went to the store and all I bought was shirts, because professionally for the next 5 or 6 months, it will be on camera again. And that's in the numbers too. That's why it was down. But as people buy more, certain things you just can't go buy at the store. It's hard to buy dress shirts because everybody's online. So again, people should just pay attention to the patterns.
Paying attention to the pattern. Everybody putting concept, pay attention to the patterns, right? Pay attention to the pattern. So and the reason why I'm going through this, guys, because me personally, I'm looking at this and just giving myself some mental notes of where I want to look, or where I could be looking for some recovery. So as I'm saying, hey, as I see right now, we're into some, we're high into greed and things are, super escalated. I'm probably looking to sell some of my positions in the short term. I'm also thinking long term about, okay, well, what's being overlooked that has a possibility for a huge upswing as we get back to normal. So consumer loans, this is Americans are spending far less on their credit cards than they did before the pandemic, leading to an unprecedented decline in consumer borrowing, right? So that's actually a good thing for personal finance.
Yep.
We're down, I guess, August, 754.8 billion versus, I guess, we were up to 858 in early March.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't been borrowing as much.
Nope. And but that notice that just reflects back with all the other graphs that we looked at, that spending is down overall. It just shifted. That's the real word I'm looking for. The money just shifted. That's
yeah. Look at this, leisure. All right. Well, we love us some leisure, man. So when the last time you dined in a restaurant or went to the movies, it's been months. You're not alone. The pandemic brought these leisure activities to a halt. Restaurant reservations went all the way down to a negative 100% almost in March. And now restaurant reservations are starting to rise up, still down 47%. This might take a while for it to quote unquote recover.
It will, but
yeah, this might be a little while.
Remember those courier numbers were up? I know people who drive DoorDash, Uber Eats, those partnerships, and the food is still being bought. We just can't get it in the restaurant and sit there and eat it. So it's being delivered to us now.
Right. Look at this box office sales. Most movie theaters closed in response to stay-at-home orders. AMC, the world's biggest movie theater chain, has the latest reopening to mid-late August. So, good news for Netflix and all that stuff, right?
Yep. And again, no matter what we're looking at, there's going to be a pro, there's going to be a con, there's going to be a benefit, there's going to be a consequence, there's going to be a gain, there's going to be a loss. And yeah, the movie theaters are losing, but Netflix, Hulu, all of the streaming things, and if I remember correctly, 2 more streamers came online this year.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Look at this stuff. All right, yeah. So you're might not go into the movies. That don't mean you ain't watching no movies. You might not go. That don't mean you ain't eating. So look at this. So takeout only has been how some of these restaurants are surviving.
Literally,
takeout only. Yeah. All right, travel. Early in the pandemic, you may have marveled at low gas prices in the area, but that was in large part because many Americans no longer commute to work. They stopped flying too. So travelers at the TSA checkpoints, the top line is what was 2019. The bottom is 2020. So 2.5 million on August 23rd of 2019, 840,000, on August 23rd of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a big change in getting on that plane.
Yeah. But now watch this though. Again, every situation is going to present something different. I got people who do Airbnbs, and some of them got waiting lists because the hotel industry is down. And when you have to travel, you don't want to stay with your mama. So there's still opportunity. We just got to be able to find it. And this is the reason why everybody needs somebody to give them what to see. They need somebody to teach them how to read this. They need somebody to teach them to interpret what they're looking at. Because if you're just looking at the numbers, man, there's nothing good going on with leisure travel. No, we're teaching you how to look at the same stuff everybody else is seeing, but we're teaching you how to look at it differently so you can use it for your benefit.
Absolutely. So I'm taking notes myself, bro. So don't mind me. Hey, so that would be traveling through the airports and stuff, right? Then we have your hotel occupancy. So travel restrictions or lockdown led to a sudden glut of empty hotel rooms. Click above to see how hotel occupancy in your state changed compared to the same time last year. So down 30%. And then we can see here, pink would be 20, darker pink before. Man, Georgia is down 21%, 22%. And then you have your 40%ers up here in Minnesota and Washington. This right here is I'm loving this area. Mm-hmm. And it's all kind of related to the same stuff, right? So, as people begin to travel more, regardless of how they travel, whether it be, air, sea,
Train,
land, whatever. Whenever they get to their destination, they typically are going to need to get one or two things. They're probably going to need some transportation, whether it be Uber, Lyft, or rental.
Yep.
And then they're going to need somewhere to stay.
Yep. And they got to eat when they get there.
And
That's back to what you talk about. Well, there are certain areas that are just going to recover because they go back to those fundamental needs that we have as humans. And so the economy takes it, the economy parallels it. It goes right with it. Since the beginning of time, we needed shelter, we needed food, and we needed to get around. And that's not going to change.
Gas prices. All right. With far fewer people driving a price war between Russia and Saudi Arabia, the United States national gas price fell to $1.77 a gallon in late April before climbing again. So gas price across the country, about $2.18 for gasoline prices. So, good time to be driving. If you do drive, you can drive for less across these wonderful states, man. So again, I read this to look for opportunities, and obviously to understand a little bit better about what's going on across these different sectors, which I think is just a wonderful. This is just a wonderful graph of information, a lot of data to be able to look into. But yeah, there's a couple things that stood out to me that I think, for me, I want to investigate more to see where we might find some opportunities. So yeah, and I hope that others find some things that they want to investigate more. Of course, we'll do some investigation together in the Black Billionaires Club. But for those that are out there on their own doing their own thing, hopefully you found some things as well. Is there anything that kind of stood out for you, brother? I mean, obviously we all have different things that capture our attention and all that as well. We all are involved in different areas of life. Anything in particular stood out to you that you're like, oh, yes. I want to dive into?
Yes. So I have a course called Class Changers. Okay. Because anytime you're in business, anytime you're in control of your stuff, you want to be aware of the class. And nowhere in any of this data was there anything by class. And when I say class, I mean those who have money to spare, those where money's not a real big issue, and then those where money is an issue. And in each of those areas, I guarantee if you look back at this information from a class perspective, the reason the leisure travel is coming back is because those who got money, and I think that's why the prices continue to go up, not because the volume is there like a Walmart volume, but you're getting those with money to come back into the game. And so if you're doing something in business on the premium side, on the higher quality side, your recovery should probably be a little faster because your folks are already back in the game. And the reason some things didn't fall is because your folks, your target has never come out the game. Well, the wealthy still gonna eat. They still gonna do certain things. It just is what it is. And that's how economics works. So I was looking for that to be kind of out front, but yeah.
Yeah, I found it interesting too that as you're talking about that, because I not only do I pay attention to like just data and stuff like that, kind of read through it, I just pay attention to what I see in regular life, and I did, I think last month I saw a lot more pictures of people at resorts and on the beach that I haven't seen in quite a while. Like, okay, I guess people starting to travel again. So that kind of pricked my antennas to say, okay, people are starting to get back to doing the things that they kind of normally do, especially in the summertime and things like that. They tired of being cooped up. So traveling across state, taking road trips. I just kind of look at that stuff that I just see. That wasn't really happening before, but it's getting back to happening now. And for all of those activities, someone's going, that money's going to be transferred to some industry, somebody's pocket to be able to pay for, somebody's job and all that stuff as well. So I found that to be very interesting.
Absolutely, brother. Look, that goes back to what we talked about weeks ago. You know, if you are looking at this information just to know this information and to take it at face value, you're going to get something out of it. But if you're looking at the information and getting everything like what I just talked about that's not explicitly stated, you'll get so much more out of it and you'll be so much better prepared. That's why we learn.
Absolutely, man. So yeah, guys. Hopefully, this was some beneficial information for you guys as you maybe learning more about money and power. This is the economy, the American economy. We weren't able. I hope we're able to see. I'll try to find something that looks at the global economy. I don't know, but I'm in America, so that's where I can invest in things like that. Tonight, if those are in the BBC, we're actually going to have a member that'll be sharing his success, how he's been successful, what he's been doing through his e-commerce or through his affiliate marketing that he's done. So I'm super excited to have him on tonight, as he has been pretty much getting paid every week. He's going to talk about what he's been doing and how he's been doing it to find some success as it relates to being an affiliate in our marketing. So, make sure you guys that are part of BBC, you join in tonight if you want to get some tips on how you can, what you can do to put yourself in position to have similar success as well. It's always great to listen to the successful so we can actually implement some of those things for us as well. Brother Weathersby, man, Better Life Tuesday. As we are looking at the Better Life Institute, man, any last words for the peeps today before we go about our way with our day?
Man, it was great doing something a little different today. We got a chance to talk about money and power in the context of what's going on right now. And hopefully from our conversation, you got a chance to hear that it's not just about money, because money is going to affect your entire life. That's the reason I always tell y'all, when life seems to be pretty good, the better life is best. Knock it out today, y'all. Knock it out.
Absolutely, beautiful people. Well, I want to say thanks so much for joining us here today on the Money and Power Show. I'm your host, ERGJ, and I want you guys to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people.
All we
got. Matter of fact, we all we need.
Yes, sir.
Thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ hits the music.
The new Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We will see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street.